And welcome back to Channel KRT, the podcast where every alien has an Australian accent for some reason. I'm Tyler Green.
I'm Kit Quinn, aka one of the few aliens that has a very offensive Irish accent.
Aww.
I'm Randy Martin, and this is what happens when shows like Bluey get popular. Suddenly all your kids are saying, Dad, can I have a cookie?
We are so sorry to our Australian followers in advance.
Airport? I'm not going to the airport.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
Sometimes when I'm texting, I spell no as N-A-U-R, and I just don't know why. Nor! Clear!
Clear, you can't work at the aquarium. If you get wet, you'll turn into a mermaid. Emma, shut the fuck up, you daft cunt.
So if we have an Australian version of our podcast, does that mean we have Nar Escape?
Nar Escape.
Alright, and speaking of experts on Australian kids shows, welcome back to the show, Andy HG.
Woo!
Hi there.
Welcome to the Second Timers Club. How you feeling?
Pretty good. I was gonna say, it's funny. I guess I'm the honorary Australian.
Oh,
Well, yeah, that's right, you did grow up in Australia for a period, so...
oh nice.
Well, that and also my mentor is from Melbourne, so...
Nice.
Ooh, nice.
Every time you look at Bluey, basically her neighborhood is pretty well accurate in Bluey.
Woo.
So, how does it feel to have lived my fucking dream?
I guess it was a dream, you know?
Look, I might be a little bit of an Australia boo.
On one hand, Australia looks beautiful. On the other hand, the spiders.
Fucking spiders, snakes, the giant octopuses that sing.
This episode of Bluey is called Jellyfish!
Firmly grasp it! That ought to do it.
Didn't they have to, ban a Peppa Pig episode in Australia about not being scared of spiders? Because in Australia, you should be scared of spiders.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I mean, that spider was pretty cute. It's one of the only things I remember liking about anything in Peppa Pig.
From what I've heard, though, it's the giant spiders, the one that everyone's terrified of. Those ones are pretty much harmless. It's actually the small spiders you have to worry about that can kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sleep well, everybody.
But we're not talking about pigs or dogs, we're talking about Wiggles again.
Hooray!
Fucking finally.
And sadly, we're not talking about something nearly as blessed as our first topic.
This time, we're talking about a shitty Wiggles thing.
Yeah.
You know, they can't all be bangers, but why? Why this?
Hey, I'm just saying, every Michael Jackson needs their Invincible.
Yeah.
Also, does this count as our very belated in honor of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 episode?
Yes. Yes,
There
it
we go.
does.
I still haven't seen that because I don't have time to go to the movies. Help!
Oh, I won't spoil it, but
No.
you'll love it.
I'll probably try and find time to, see Spider-Verse while I'm in Providence.
There we go.
I definitely recommend it.
Yes. So now we're talking about a movie that doesn't have animal cruelty, but is very cruel to the eyes.
Are you sure there was no animal cruelty in it? It was very cruel to this here animal.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
I mean, given how Captain Feathersword treats Wags.
But then again, you also should see how Wags treats Captain, though.
Very
Oh,
true.
yeah. Yeah, speaking of things we talked about in the last episode, that fucking gag where Wags just harasses Captain Feathersword comes up a lot between me and Andy in our texts.
Yeah. And that one where he tricks Captain into thinking that he shrunk by using his nephews or sons.
Without Googling, name a famous historical battle.
Wags was a fucking asshole, and I'm here for it, quite frankly.
He's a lot nicer in Taiwan.
He is. So anyway, the Wiggles space dancing. Technically, this was the Wiggles' second movie, not exactly a full-length movie that went to theaters, but it was a direct-to-DVD movie that came out in 2003 and was predominantly in CGI, and yeah, it was not good CGI, given their track record.
If you had told me this had been released in theaters, I would not believe you. This just oozes of straight to DVD.
I mean, given some of the stuff that was released in 2003, like Jungle Book 2, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this went to theaters, but...
Yeah.
Jonah, A VeggieTales Story went to theaters. Anything's possible at this rate.
The
Very
Room went to
true.
theaters in 2003.
Oh god, yeah, that too.
Let that sink in.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
I remember seeing the trailer for this one all the time when I was hate watching the tapes with my brother when my mom needed me to sit with him for a while or something to distract him, or I was watching to be a big sister.
Oh, I did not know about this until right before we did our Wiggles movie episode, because Andy, I believe, was the one that tipped me onto it, and yeah, it's kind of good that this slipped past my radar because I escaped some serious childhood trauma with this shit.
Even back then, I was just not having this fucking movie.
Here's the thing, this whole time, I knew there were CGI Wiggles. I thought they were used for, like, one-off scenes or, like, you know, a music video or two or, like, you know, a cutaway or two. I didn't know they had their own whole entire movie.
Like, I remember around this time they were using some animated sequences for songs because I know they had to film a lot less because they were on tour a lot, and I know they were kind of dealing with some health issues that made it hard to film, and it's like, you know, I get that. And it's like for little scenes like that, I get that. A whole movie, though, where it just doesn't work in this kind of style, it's like, you know, you could just take a break, right?
Yeah.
I don't really want to call this a soulless cash grab because you can tell that the guys really did and still do have a knack for doing this, as you can tell they're still going.
Absolutely.
But I feel like this is something they should have, you know, put a little more time into.
And at the least work with an animation studio that's got a better grip on how to make them look.
This is almost like if Robert Zemeckis directed Food Fight.
We were literally talking about how this was like their Yellow Submarine, but like the Robert Zemeckis version.
Okay, so we should talk about these character designs because how do I explain it?
This looks like that fucking Coin World movie that was made to promote the metaverse.
At one point, like, the bouncer at the rock planet, I think they just, like, downloaded, like, a realistic dog model and put it in a suit.
That's exactly what it is.
So about the bouncer, that is actually one of Anthony's dogs at the time. Her name was Pasqua.
Oh
my god, that's actually really cute.
So we had two dogs named Pasqua and Fergus,
Aww.
who have unfortunately passed on, sadly.
Oh.
But he still loves the breed of dog they are, and still has dogs to this day.
Oh, that's sweet.
Is he a Jack Russell? He kind of looks like that.
I think a mixed
Maybe
terrier.
an Australian breed?
I guess the best way I can describe the character designs for the Wiggles in this is, do you guys remember the mini puppets they used for that one Can You Point Your Fingers and Do the Twist music video?
Oh my god, yeah!
That fucking video.
Puppets.
The Wiggly Puppets.
Let me look that up.
Yeah. Oh, Randy, you will never be clean after you see it.
Fingers and do the
Oh no,
twist,
Randy's
the
gonna be
Wiggles.
traumatized.
Let's see. Here we go. I'm just seeing Wiggles. Oh my god, those things!
Yeah, those things.
I seen that before. I must have repressed that.
Oh, I'm jealous of you.
Now, imagine an entire movie with those fucking designs, but they're computer animated for the entire godforsaken movie.
Good god.
I didn't want to, yet here I am.
Ugh.
And let's not leave out the Wiggly friends, too, because they get thrown under the bus.
Oh.
Dorothy, I think, is the worst example, because she has, like, these giant fucking googly meth eyes.
Ugh.
And she's not animated with a mouth, by the way, so her teeth are literally just pointing out of her face. It's unsettling.
I was actually gonna say, like, yeah, Dorothy's is the worst. The humans are definitely the worst because, first of all, who's the yellow one again?
Greg.
Greg's head is not that fucking big. Be so for real, okay? Second of all, they got Henry the Octopus spot on, but here's the thing, this is animated. You can move their mouths. They're not costumes anymore, but they don't. They keep the mouths stationary on Dorothy, on Wags, on Henry. They treat them as if they're still the costumes, and they keep the mouth stationary, and all the other crazy characters get to move. What's going on here?
I guess consistency?
It's ironic that Henry's design is the only design that actually translates well in the CG, because he gets nothing to do in this fucking movie at all.
He don't even move his mouth. Stop the world, I want to get off.
Which is funny because around that time, actually, I think that's when Henry was kind of like more of a background character than anything. He had the less songs in concert. You really didn't get much with him.
Yeah.
Except like with the rest of their friends.
Which is funny because he was my favorite growing up. I don't know why, but his design just had comfort all over it for me.
So basically, I'm assuming what happened is that he asked for a raise and the Wiggles were not pleased with that.
They were like,
I'm having fish tonight!
Mr. Krabs, can I have a raise?
no. Also, it's kind of funny that we're recording this episode not too long after Defunctland released his episode on the awful dark ride for the Wiggles.
Yeah.
And not only that, but the Wiggles are actually coming back to America.
That's right.
For the first time since before the pandemic, I think, right?
Oh!
I think even a little bit longer than that, because I don't think they've been here in 2019, if I'm not mistaken.
Channel KRT field trip.
If I wasn't broke, I would probably consider going, so...
I agree.
Well, the funny thing is, where I'm from, Philly, it is the only place they haven't really confirmed a venue yet, so...
Okay.
Which could change by the time this goes up.
I could have sworn I read somewhere they're playing the Miller Theater.
Oh, wow.
I could be wrong, but...
So...
Yeah, that's another thing, too. We should talk about the fact that the Wiggles just keep fucking multiplying now.
Yeah, didn't they add, now 5 members?
Yeah.
So the Fruit Salad TV Wiggles are now a thing.
Huh.
Well, they started off as Fruit Salad TV Wiggles, and then they just became the Wiggles. Actual Wiggles.
Are we just gonna forget that happened now?
I'm currently on a mission right now because you mentioned the Wiggles in America.
We're the Wiggles in America. Whoa, we're the Wiggles.
Now, when I was a kid, my parents watched all those sitcoms, Everyone Loves Raymond, according to Jim. And I remember the Wiggles were on one of those, and now I've been on a wild goose chase.
Yes, dear.
Yes, dear, that's the one. I was just on Google a few seconds ago. I'm trying to figure out, what show are they on? Hang on. The Wiggles according to Jim. No results. The Wiggles, Everybody Loves Raymond. No results. The Wiggles, King of Queens. No results. It was Yes, dear. Thank you very much.
Yes, and that was also filmed at one of their concerts in Georgia, I believe.
Aha! I found it. You were right. It was Yes, dear. What was that show? Hang on.
Yeah, I remember also that there was a reference to the Wiggles in Parks and Rec, and then I also remember Victorious had their own version of the Wiggles that basically got murdered, Buddy Holly style.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
Was Victorious just not the Wiggles for preteens?
Basically, and with a lot more fetish stuff, but that's another story.
Oh, thank God Ari's out of that. She
Thank
deserves some
God.
success.
She really does. So, to start the special off, it starts off with a vignette from the Wiggles in live action where they keep just fucking with Jeff while he's trying to sleep.
Also, it has a CGI opening where the door looks even worse.
Why is she looking at me like that?
So why does she have a face on one side and a face on the other?
That's...
How did nobody come for their ass with a cease and desist? That was literally the Starship Enterprise.
Oh my God, it was!
Oh my God, yeah.
The episode begins with the Wiggles exploiting Jeff's narcolepsy.
As usual.
Yeah, so the Wiggles keep trying to wake Jeff up, and for some reason, none of them think of the put the hand in a cup of warm water trick.
They don't think to start drawing dicks on his face. And also, I know I should feel bad for Greg when he does so, but when he tries the magic trick and Anthony and Murray fuck with him, I laughed. It was a funny joke.
Yeah, when Greg does the chicken out of the hat scene, I wrote in my notes, Greg chokes his chicken.
Also, given how many times Anthony has messed with Greg when he's doing his magic tricks, how long until Greg just locks him in a box and starts sawing him in half?
Yeah, how long until he goes full American Horror Story freak show on his ass?
Oh, man.
Oi, that's what you get, Anthony, you big cunt.
So eventually, they ponder what it would actually be like to be in one of Jeff's dreams, and this is what kicks off the CGI portion of the movie.
Which is weird because you see what his dreams look like in some of the TV episodes. and it looks nothing like this.
He's not dressed like a cow in this one. What the fuck?
He's not singing "Bitch, I'm a cow, moo."
He's not getting yelled at by the Daily Wire.
Exactly. Also, when they say,
"But you can't eat yummy things in your sleep."
And I was like, not according to that one Ed and Eddie episode where Ed is just wandering around town in his sleep eating everybody's stuff.
Not according to that one joke that says, I had a dream I was eating my pillow. I woke up and my marshmallow was gone.
So I found out through the Wiggles Wikipedia that the animation was done by a company called Plastic Wax.
Yes.
Who has worked with the Wiggles after this, actually, because they also did the Wiggly animation segments in the Wiggles show. And if you've seen those, yeah, they're still better than what we got in this.
Yeah.
Are those the ones that were 2D animated instead?
Yeah, they were 2D animated, but I refuse to call them animation because they barely move.
Yeah.
If that.
It's Go Animate.
Don't get me started on the mariachi Wiggles.
Oh, the fucking mariachi Wiggles. And this was a period where the Wiggles clearly meant well, but didn't know how to handle cultural appropriation.
Oh, Australia, you'll get there eventually.
Just look at their many depictions of the French.
I remember seeing those in the Big Red Boat episode, and on one hand, I get it's a nice way to teach kids Spanish and such. On the other hand, I don't know.
They're a little confused, but they got the spirit.
Yeah. And also, I made a dumb joke in my notes. Do CGI Wiggles dream of CGI sheep something something?
They did this thing where it's like, when you're dreaming, you can do anything you want. That's a bunch of bullshit, unless you are like a regular lucid dreamer. Which every time I've almost had a lucid dream, I get too excited and wake up. I'm pissed about that. Anyway, unless you're like a serial lucid dreamer, you don't control the shit that goes on in there.
Yeah.
What about nightmares? What about those sex dreams where you end up having a sex dream about someone you really don't want to have sex with?
Also, once the CGI begins, we get introduced to the Z-Zops, and, well, we now know what the Wiggles versions of the meanies look like.
Was anybody else getting Crazy Frog vibes from this shit?
Yes!
Oh,
that's
absolutely.
what I was thinking of.
Oh, this shit made Crazy Frog look like fucking Brave.
I'll say this much. At least it's better than a movie that for some reason I was fucking obsessed with for a few months in 2008, Space Chimps. Now that's a horrifying CGI monstrosity.
That's a bad one, and I send all my condolences to you.
Thank you.
Oh, man. So, as soon as they started talking, I thought to myself, we're not going to spend the entire movie with these assholes, are we?
We come as friends. You have beautiful eyes.
Well, not the entire movie.
Yeah, but even just a minute of having to listen to those high-pitched voices is a minute too long.
Hey, look, it's Alvian and the Chipmunks.
Me, I want a hula hoop.
Hey kids with misophonia, fuck you. Just, that horrible clicking noise that the robot makes. I'll say this, it's not as bad as Jimbo's Mr. Knickerbocker, but it was close. And also when Dorothy shows up, she's like, "Ah! Hi everybody!" I was half expecting her to say, "They have us trapped here! Oh my god, help us!"
Kill me!
Also, once again, Captain Feathersword can't learn bad touch for some reason because he's chasing around Wags and trying to tickle him, and it's like, no! Why?
Captain, I know it's your thing, but it's been almost 10 years, my guy. You need to learn boundaries.
Good God. Also, how do they not notice this giant-ass spaceship when it lands? It literally makes a sound when it smashes onto the ground.
The Wiggles are willfully ignorant in this, because I know it's the part where the kids are supposed to be interacting, but they literally look at the giant spaceship and still don't know what it is, or where it is.
Well, this is also the thing. You have to take in mind, in the episode where Murray can't find another red shirt for some reason because he got a little bit mustard on it, none of them recognize him.
Oh god, I love that one.
So I guess everyone in Wiggle Land, I guess, is a little bit stupid.
Everyone in Wiggles Land is color coordinated.
Shirt blindness, I don't know.
Everyone in Wiggle Land just got long COVID. The worst kind of long COVID.
Also, how the fuck does Greg just have a spaceship manual? Like, how do you just have that on hand?
You never know when you're gonna need something like that. You know, like one day when a UFO crash lands in your backyard, you're gonna say, "Oh man, I wish I bought a spaceship manual. I should have, done that a while ago."
In all fairness, that spaceship manual was definitely something out of a YTP. It just needed sentence mixing.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, it's...
Yay, Luigi?
Wow! A spaghetti! But Wiggle House! Woohoo!
And also the Zezops for some reason are trying to befriend the cows, and we get to hear their delightful, "How do you do? You have beautiful eyes." Please stay away from me.
And then the thing is, like, throughout the entire movie, they just, like, randomly cut back to the aliens trying to hit on these cows. And then Henry's like, "Oh my god, this is really weird," or something.
Whoa, where are the Wiggles?
Yeah, that's all they do. They cut back, and it's the same thing over and over. Like, I get that, like, with kids' media, repetition is necessary because repetition is, safe and familiar, and kids like that stuff. But there's gotta be, like, a limit. I feel like even the kids are gonna be like, "All right, come on. You're pushing it."
Oh, you know what? Y'all would hate Baby Antonio's circus.
Oh, God.
Don't get me started.
So for the listener, there was a Wiggles channel on Roku, and I would just have it on in the background while editing the podcast or doing whatever. And during quote-unquote commercial breaks, they would show another show produced by the Wiggles called Baby Antonio's Circus, which is by and large the most repetitive shit I have ever seen, targeted towards kids. And not even Paul Paddock can make it good, quite frankly.
Oh, fun fact. You can find it on Tubi TV. The entire series.
So, the entire point of Baby Antonio's Circus is to, A, to parade Anthony and his brother's children around, and B, the circus people are just morons. The show literally abides by the same script, but they just change certain words out. It's basically fucking Wiggly Mad Libs.
It's certainly a show that came out long after my time, because I was just watching a little bit of it. I'm like, I'm sure this is fine for the audience it's for, but boy, this is repetitive.
How come this show for literal babies isn't pandering to me?
Oh god, there's gonna be like adults who are gonna treat Bluey like Steven Universe Discourse or My Little Pony.
Don't jinx it! They're doing so good right now.
Agreed.
There's just someone writing a comment right now. How dare you shit all over the sanctity of Baby Antonio's Circus, you monsters!
Yeah, how dare you not like it when Anthony had an obsession with the circus for some bizarre reason with the Wiggles.
So we get introduced to the song where Captain Feathersword fucks around and finds out.
So, fun fact about this, and you probably couldn't notice if you listen to the soundtrack, this is obviously the first draft demo of the song.
Huh.
You know what's funny though is that this song, the fucking what is this button do song? This is like the only song in this movie that's like actually good. It goes actually like kind of hard. Every other song in this is ass. Like in the first part, before they all get in the spaceship, they use like the same 3-second music loop over and over and over again.
Ugh.
I thought I was going to start killing somebody about 5 minutes of that.
Oh, God.
All right, that's it. I'm off on my story.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be right back.
When we inevitably end up in hell, that song and the Foley Dollhouse theme from the Big Comfy Couch are going to be playing on a loop nonstop together.
Is this what they did to the Guantanamo inmates?
It's literally their version of the Triple Dent Gum song. That's what it is.
Why would you bring that up? I went a whole year without that kit. How dare you?
Oh,
I'm literally those people who were inside Riley's brain. But anyway.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest, it's kind of catchy. It's not the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
it's not. It's pretty good. I do like it.
Agreed.
But yeah, going back to the songs in this, you can tell that I guess they are a little burnt out by how much they're doing, for their audience at this point, because you got to remember, they're still at the height of their popularity at this point. So they're doing touring, they're doing more videos and all this stuff, and they're doing a TV show on top of that. So of course they're going to be a little burnout working on this, but yeah, these songs aren't really that great.
Yeah, it feels like they kind of wrote these in a very shorter amount of time.
You got 5 seconds. Get on it. The eagle thing, the eagle thing. There we go. There's the song.
I'll say this much. At least unlike Barney, they're not singing every 5 minutes or every time somebody says a keyword. Like, they don't say weasel and start singing Pop Goes the Weasel.
That's the secret word. Ah!
But I will say it was kind of a little bit odd that they just randomly got Ross Wilson. It's cool to have a collaboration with him, but it's like the song kind of feels out of place with the movie,
Yeah.
That's the thing. I didn't know who Ross Wilson was when we were doing this.
Who's the cheapest celebrity we can afford? This guy. Here we go.
I'll tell you this, he is not the composer of that song.
Huh.
I mean, of course.
I feel like the composer of that song was someone who was paid $10.
Also, when Captain accidentally launches them into space, he gives a YouTuber apology like, I'm so sorry, guys.
I'm sorry that I offended you when I said that 100-year-old racial slur.
I'm sorry I keep tickling Wags without permission.
Oh, no.
I know in my heart that that's not who I am. Anyway, we're doing a giveaway. I will pick one commenter to get this free Nintendo Switch. All you have to do is comment #we love you Feathersword.
But is it a Fine Brothers level apology?
Oh, God.
Ho! We want to tell you that I wasn't just tickling Wags because I just felt like it. I thought it was funny.
So we forgot to mention that the Wiggles just straight up just walk into the spaceship without asking and just act like they run the place.
Like, they get mad at Captain for accidentally setting off the spaceship, but you were on it without permission in the first place.
Greg is straight up like, we shouldn't be in here. This is someone else's spaceship. Then why did you enter it to begin with?
Grand Theft Wiggle?
Why? We're the Wiggles. We're breaking and entering, mate.
Danny Tamborelli is still involved somehow. When they go to the Rockstar planet to learn how to get back to Earth, I swear to God, the planet looked like Wayne Knight in a clown wig.
Well, actually, I was going to call it the Tommy Chung planet.
Yes. Earth, with its still unmoving face and unblinking eyes.
I was just so expecting the Wiggles to just suddenly say, hey, what's that weird smell on this planet? It turns out to be weed.
Oh, yeah, that's me. Sorry about that.
Oh, there's everything on this planet. There's coke, there's crack, there's meth, there's weed, there's everything on this planet.
And they wreck a van.
Yeah, there's straight up fucking vandalism in this movie.
That planet made me want to go back to Hard Rock Cafe and apologize for calling it cheap.
Also, I love that when the spaceship crushes the van, it just makes a fucking squish noise.
Not cool.
And I'm choosing to believe that happened because there was another hippie sleeping in the van.
They killed someone!
It's okay, that happens every day on this planet.
Also, when they're referencing a bunch of other musical acts, it's all Paul Field and live action posters.
Oh no, Paul Paddock.
Paul Paddock, yeah.
You know, kids know who Ozzy Osbourne and Pavarotti are.
You just see Paul Paddock as Ozzy Osbourne take a mini Dorothy and bite the head off of her.
Also, I didn't know who that last person was, so I thought it was a Liberace reference.
I think it was supposed to be Pavarotti.
Pavarotti, okay.
Well, it's funny because in concert, when he's a captain, he does musical impressions.
Okay.
So, for example, he'll do Metallica, which he's usually singing the Quack Quack song to
Nice.
the tune of one of their songs. So he'll do.
That's so cool. I remember there was also that one segment in the Big Red Boat episode where he started impersonating musical artists with his buttons because the radio broke, and that was like, those impressions aren't bad.
That's where they got it from.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Because every time they do the Quack Quack song, you're like, oh, let's make it a little bit interesting. Let's do your magical buttons, and you'll do it like Elvis Presley or Mick Jagger.
Also, we forgot to mention the other planets that they tease but don't actually go to. One of them being Elvis World for some reason.
Sure.
It's just an excuse for Anthony to do an Elvis impression.
Which is funny because Greg is the biggest Elvis fan out of them. Because I think he bought a lot of merch and donated a lot of it to a museum.
Yes.
I feel like if they went to that planet, we would have gotten answers as to what happened to Wally, and it just turns out he died shitting on the toilet. Hey there, Wally.
Cue the dog that's What If Triumph the Insult Dog if he was voiced by a woman who sounds a lot like John Leguizamo.
I am a Pasqua. The, how do you say, bouncer.
Did I ask you to be making me over and jump all kinds of hoops like some circus poodle? No, I don't think so.
Also, Wags is horny for her, because why not?
Ugh.
Oh,
bad dog.
I thought they neutered him.
They're like, okay, Wags, we're gonna have to do it right here. We're gonna cut it. I'm kidding.
God. Time to send Wags to horny jail.
So they're like, this is the most famous singer ever, King Mondo. He's got the best hits ever. And when he actually plays his song Eagle Rock, it's a mid-level hair metal song at best.
Is it hair metal, or is it just someone slamming on a Yamaha keyboard?
Yes.
It's the Wiggles trying to write a Harry Nilsson song, and they are trying their best, but again, it's on a time crunch.
It sounded like a song that Applause rejected for being too generic.
God. The whole time they're saying, this is the most famous rock star, biggest seller, and I'm just sitting here like, who?
Which is weird because he did a crossover with arguably more famous people. Like, they did, what's his name from CCR?
John Fogerty.
Yeah, they did a Christmas album featuring him.
That's right.
They later did something with Joey Fatone from NSYNC.
Holy shit, I met that guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you did.
He's nice. I like him.
Also, Lou Diamond Phillips, very common collaborator with them.
Oh, and Kylie Minogue.
Yeah.
Kylie Minogue did a song with them.
Ross Wilson, though, is not exactly the most famous singer you can think. I don't even think he would be the most famous Australian rock singer, let alone the most famous singer out there.
Yeah, they should have gotten Midnight Oil.
They should have got Bluey.
Yes.
They should have gotten the guy from Crowded House, Tim Finn.
Yes.
They should have got him back.
Actually, well, that was one of the albums, yeah.
And also when they're dancing on the stage, I was like, wow, I love insert rhythm game here that you find on those terrible ads on social media now.
So the fun thing about that scene, like obviously the Wiggles were heavily involved with this project at least, because they took photos of them, which is why they have their designs. Did they look well? Not really. They look like JJ the Jet Plane combined with the Wiggles. And then for the Eagle Rock dance, they had a couple of their actual dancers, fill in so they could, I don't want to say rotoscope it, but and there's just a random shot where they just randomly get off the stage.
Yeah.
Consistency!
I will say that I felt kind of bad for laughing at how the animation looked at points, but when there would be like scenes of them like crashing or when they were trying to do fast motion scenes, it just looked so awkward I couldn't help but laugh at it.
I love that when Anthony's playing the drums, nothing he's doing is matching the song at all in the slightest.
Yeah, I was expecting you to rant about that scene.
Oh yeah, it was a load of shit.
This whole segment, the instruments matched about as well as like an animatronic pizza band.
Ready, Senor Beaverati?
I'm all ready, and a 1, and a 2.
You're the birthday, you're the birthday, you're the birthday boy or girl.
Like, you can hear like a solid beat, and while he's doing that, he's just flailing the sticks around and doing tricks with them and whatnot. It's like fucking low-rent Guitar Hero.
Well, I gotta say this, I used to have a hyperfixation on the Rock-afire Explosion.
Yes.
Oh yeah, same.
Out of all the Pizza Place animatronic bands, they are pretty much the coolest, aside from their creator being terrible, but
Yeah.
they actually tried to put effort into making the drummer of that one match what was going on, because his drumsticks would actually hit the drums.
Yes.
Most other Pizza Place bands do not do that. I gotta give them credit for that one.
Also, when they get back onto the ship and Dorothy is worried as hell, Greg says something like, "Don't worry, Dorothy, we have to keep going anyway," and I'm just expecting him to say, "Don't worry, Dorothy, if we crash, we'll eat you last."
Oh no!
Don't worry, Dorothy, when we die, it'll be nice and fast.
You've seen Total Recall, right, mate? Also, we forgot to mention when the Eagle Rock song ends. Suddenly, it just goes in the slow motion, and you hear this disembodied voice say,
"You guys are awesome!"
Is that supposed to be us?
I
Oh
guess?
God, I hope not.
Yay, Wiggles. Yay.
Yay. Play-
Yay.
Boo, play Henry's Underwater Big Band.
Boo, play Do the Monkey.
So they land on this planet that's full of tiny Irish people. Why not?
Oh boy.
That would.
So that's what Australians think of the Irish.
The Wiggles being culturally insensitive? Who would have guessed?
I see that they haven't totally let go of their British roots.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I've seen worse. It's not Luck of the Irish. It's not fucking Braveheart. That's Scottish, but still.
Also, one of the tiny Irishmen straight up threatens to kick Captain Feathersword's ass. So we have vandalism, and we have a threat of violence in a Wiggles video. So this is easily the most metal video they've ever done.
And we got stereotypes from like the 1910s.
Also, when the tiny Irish woman says something like, "So you're the one who tickles," I was expecting him to fucking put on a Walter White voice and be like, "I am the one who tickles." Then
You're goddamn right, me hearties.
Which is funny. I think Morgan Crowley voices one of the Irish people, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay.
Which was one of their famous Irish collaborators. Before they got a Nuna. Which, you know, the best choir ever.
Nice, yeah.
So when Captain Feathersword tells the Wiggles that the little teeny weeny characters are cool, I was half expecting them to just accidentally step on them when they were running over.
Movie over.
Oh, would you look at that? Looks like I've gone and killed someone again.
This is kind of a spoiler for the end, but the only reason I can't quite give this a burn the tapes is because of Murray saying, "Yes, we're stuck on a planet with no fuel and only going one way. It's great!" Like that got a laugh out of me.
Yes.
They meet a bunch of Irish people who are like fucking Lucky Charms sized. I was half expecting them to go fucking, "They'll never catch me, Lucky Charms."
They're gonna start talking about corned beef and cabbage.
They're magically delicious.
And they're gonna be talking about how much they love God.
It's not even just an Irish stereotype. They're literally leprechauns. Just have them say, "Oh, you're gonna catch the pot of gold at the end of me rainbow."
Now that was quite a load to have to explode. What a lovely lass. I had to blow up your ass, but now I must hit the road.
That Family Guy scene where the woman keeps giving birth over and over again was more authentic Irish representation.
And again, the little Irish old lady, during her speech, none of the dialogue is matching what's going through her lips.
Oh my god, this whole thing, the way the lip sync is just so off. It looks like, one, they definitely moved the mouths before they recorded the lines. Two, this whole thing, animation quality, bad lip sync, fucked up designs. This is one of those, like, Brazilian Pixar ripoffs, isn't it?
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
This is like some Ratatouille level shit.
Also, when the Gloomy World residents end up kidnapping them, basically, I was like, oh, it's Gloomy World, so they are back on Earth.
The Gloomy World scene was actually legit unsettling, because it starts off with the normal Wiggles there, and then they leave the room without the captain knowing, because he's steering the ship. And then suddenly you see, basically the best way I can describe this is Invasion of the Wiggle Snatchers.
Oh, God.
Oh, I was gonna say, this is like some straight up Mandela catalog shit. These are like the Wiggles alternates. I was half expecting like one of them to just like super fast flash to like a giant fucked up smile or something.
Wait a minute.
Oh, God.
It's people in space. They're wearing different colors. It's Among Us.
Oh my god!
No, come on.
So those are the fucking sus Wiggles, okay.
God damn it.
But no, that was legit unsettling because they have the beady eyes and they're just extremely expressionless and they're speaking in this really weird voice.
And they straight up admit they probably killed all the people who visited before. They were like, we kept kidnapping all the people and making them gloomy. And you just see a bunch of spaceships in the background. They killed them.
There was another thing I gotta say about the fucking sus Wiggles that was so unsettling. Featherstone is like sitting here confused, like, you know, oh, you told me to do this, and then I forget which Wiggle it was, but then he's like,
Anthony says, do it.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this? Is this like fucking Red Mist Wiggles?
Creepypasta Wiggles.
Jesus Christ.
I just feel like Captain Feathersword just gets progressively dumber as the movie goes on.
Like, come on, he's goofy, but he's not this stupid.
But yeah, the Gloomy Planet, it's a planet full of like Stitch if he was based off a fucking bulldog.
And so they decide to sing a song called Dance Your Gloomies Away, and it's like something something yoga and something something do yoga.
Essential oils.
Solve your depression.
Have you tried crystals?
I will say the Gloomy song kinda slapped, but that's a very strong kinda.
Yeah, it's not the worst song in the special, but it's probably the one besides the What's This Button For that I'd probably listen to, but not often.
But then after the song, didn't even go like, we're still sad.
Well, too bad.
I forget that Droopy Dog existed. I just realized that's who they all are.
But Droopy's happy.
And so when Captain Feathersword's dance is ultimately what makes the Gloomies finally just cheer up, it's like, oh my god, it literally is Guardians of the Galaxy. They dance to save the day.
Come and get your love.
Dance off, bro.
Wait a minute, mocap, blue Gloomies. This is Yellow Submarine. Those are literally the blue meanies.
Yep.
Oh no. So this is where Robert Zemeckis got the idea.
And they're like, okay, so we're no longer gloomy, but you're still stuck here. You can steal the fuel from the other ships. And I'm like, great. You probably still killed all those people.
So we have vandalism, threats of violence, and stealing gas from other cars. Yeah, this really is metal as shit.
Oh, by the way, they're stealing fuel from cars owned by people who were mass murdered.
I mean, at least they don't need them anymore.
Yeah, I guess you gotta use what you can use, but would that fuel even still work at this point? Those spaceships were probably there for years.
Hey, Feathersword, did you check the O-rings on the solid rocket boosters? No, me hearty.
I was amazed there wasn't like a joke where the Zzops see Henry and think he's an alien, because I'm like, look at him. He's got tentacles.
They should have started hitting on him. And yeah, of course, they're still hitting on the cows. Henry still thinks this shit is weird. Back to the thing we're thinking.
Oh, I'm just happy to be here.
I'm going to unionize. Oh.
They only put me here to pad this movie out.
Wow, I told you I don't swing that way.
We gotta make sure we hit those 45 minutes.
I was still expecting there was going to be at least one scene where the Wiggles said, all right, let's all take turns beating the shit out of Captain for getting us here in the first place.
Oh god, it's like the one Corey in the House bit where they all beat the shit out of him at the end of the one episode. Except it's just the fucking Wiggles and Dorothy and Wags. And it doesn't actually end with a lesson, it just ends with the captain screams.
And also somehow the cows are just decked up in all this glamour. Like, were the aliens buying stuff for the cows? I was so confused by that.
Sure. Well, eventually, after, giving these cows offerings and putting, sacred items on them, it appears that after spending only 45 minutes on Earth, these aliens have already converted to Hinduism, thus proving to all of us that it turns out Hinduism was the correct religion all along. Works for me. Sounds pretty cool. I'm already a polytheist anyway.
Which, those wonderful flower JPEGs look wonderful around them.
They did.
Yeah, they do.
And also, I was actually half expecting that this was going to turn out to be that alien movie that was in the VeggieTales episode, The Big Fib, because, that one had aliens who were stealing cows in that movie.
Oh, yeah. Also, I know this is wrong, but I was half expecting when the Wiggles got back to Earth that they just get fire in the sky by the aliens for hijacking the ship.
Oh, God.
So wait, so it turns out Hinduism and Christianity is correct? I knew it. I knew that Jesus and Shiva were buddies.
Yeah.
I mean, they have several Christmas albums, so.
I do gotta give this special this. At least it didn't turn into CJ7.
Oh, thank God. It did kind of look a little bit like a more horrifying version of him. It's the vibes.
Oh God, they did. And also, when it cuts back to the live action, Captain Feathersword just breaks into their house and bothers them. And I was half expecting them to say, tickle us and we're gonna shove you into space without a helmet. And then he tosses the sword into space. It's close to Earth. I don't know. This special was something.
So do we give this special a keep the tapes, put in the donation box, or burn the tapes? Andy?
Well, my rating for this is, at least it's better than Muzza's haircut. That thing bothered me.
Oh God, yeah.
So that's a donation box then.
Yes.
So, yeah, because that's it's not good, but it's not bad either.
It's a movie.
Yeah. I'm gonna say donation box as well. After what we endured last month, this isn't nearly as bad. It's not promoting hateful shit like Gingerbrook Fair, and it's not fucking racist like Salty, but...
Yeah, you need to hear those episodes, Andy.
I'm mad I know what you're talking about.
Oh, no.
It's okay, I'm mad that I know it too.
I'm mad that we watched it.
I'm mad that it didn't just stay an everything is terrible thing I repressed.
Oh God, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna say overall donation box because again, we reviewed worse, especially last month, but this was just still kind of frustrating to watch and kind of boring and just not very fun to watch. But I love the Wiggles, I always will, but this was not one of their best projects.
It's not so much that I'm burning the tapes, more so I'm giving this a Viking funeral.
There we go.
God, they really fell off with this one. This is, wow.
You're giving this an I'm not mad, just disappointed.
Yeah, that's why I said Viking funeral. Son, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed, alright? This was just very slow to sit through, very unsettling too, wow.
I'm going to give it a donation box because the thing is, this did have potential to be, not great, but at least decent if, the Wiggles one, gave themselves a break and put more time to get this right, and two, did this in an animation style that wasn't nightmare fuel.
Yeah, like, I wouldn't say the animation alone is the issue. Like, I still feel like if it was the same script, it still wouldn't work in live action, but the animation really doesn't help.
Yeah.
It does not. So yeah, donation box.
Especially compared to how enjoyable and nostalgic the movie was, it just was kind of a letdown. But, like Defunctland said, this level of wiggling was simply unsustainable.
This level of wiggling was simply not sustainable.
Andy, have you watched that yet by any chance?
I keep seeing the clip, but I haven't sat down and watched it yet.
Oh, you gotta.
Oh,
it's good.
my
You're gonna
God.
love
I
it.
didn't know that there was legitimate Wiggles beef.
I do understand where Sam was coming from, because he really did get the shaft then and there.
Like, I know it's, like, kind of cliche and, like, inaccurate. You know, you have media, there's, kids show thing that really, had a dark thing to it. And, most kids shows in real life, yeah, they're nothing more than, like, oh, yeah, we had fun on set. It was great. Wiggles is, like, the only one I can think of now that had actual drama.
Australian Fleetwood Mac.
No, for real.
Well, I mean, at least they made some peace, it sounds like.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, I still want to hear the Wiggles cover the chain.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I still want them to get like a Weird the Al Yankovic story biopic where it's just hardcore as shit.
I know one of those Wiggles is a witch. I'll figure out which one it is.
Murray. It's
It's
definitely Murray.
Oh, it's Murray for sure.
No one can reenact Enter Sandman that perfectly.
Wait, so that means we're getting Anthony Wiggle in American Horror Story eventually, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
All right. So, Andy, thanks again for joining us, man. This was, as always, great. Is there anything you want to plug?
Anything I want to plug? For the OG Wiggles to come to the USA.
Yes.
Thankfully, Greg's in better health now, so hopefully he can pull that off.
Yes!
Agreed. I hope he's doing okay.
He's become an advocate for, like, heart health, so, like, that is really
even better!
great. Yeah.
So, for something slightly more kid-friendly, you can find me at Flannel Music with Mr. Andy on YouTube and also Instagram.
You can find me on Mission Breakout on Discord, Mission Breakout on Twitter. You can also find me banning Zops from the universe.
Well, I'm not on Twitter anymore because Elon Musk has officially made that website way too much for any normal human being to bear.
Oh.
So, no, you know what? It's fine. We're in the age where social media is dying anyway, and I will be dancing on its grave.
Huzzah.
But I am still on YouTube, where I will post the very occasional remix or video shitpost. I am trying to learn how to make music edits, so have fun there.
Yes.
Goodbye, Twitter. I will not miss you. I hope that website dies and stays dead and that never comes back.
At this point, I'm probably staying until it officially burns to the ground because I have a lot of friends there and I'd feel bad about just abandoning them. But,
Yeah, that's fair.
I know. I pretty much just decided to because everyone I'm like really, really close to, I already have on Discord. Most of y'all are already in the KRT Discord, which I will try and be more active in. I apologize.
Oh yeah, no worries. Oh, and one last quick plug. Sorry. My letterbox is Muppet Vision 3D.
Yay! We love people on Letterboxd who are not all people on Letterboxd. Some of you suck.
Yeah. Shout out to the people on Letterboxd that were traumatized by this movie's animation.
Oh god.
We understand.
Yes. Oh my god, one quick Letterboxd review of this movie. 1 star. I lost control of my life.
I saw that one, yes. Alright, you can find me on the usual spots. Tyler FG on Twitter for however long I decide to stay. Frankly, at some point I'm probably gonna grow tired of that shithole.
I mean, let's be honest. At this point, is there really any difference between Twitter and Truth Social?
Who knows? Alright, Tyler FG on Twitter, Tyler FG96 on Instagram. For the show, you can find us on Twitter at channel_KRT. On Instagram, you can find us at Channel KRT Podcast, all one word on Instagram. And we also have our Discord server and our Facebook group and Linktree in our Twitter bio. And if you want to help support us, we have 2 options. We have our Patreon with exclusive minisodes, outtakes, and episodes of this very podcast at its earliest convenience. and our Ko-Fi, where we also have exclusive minisodes and outtakes for $5 a pop.
Huzzah!
And you know what? Just go play Destroy All Humans.
Huzzah!
Just that game is fucking great.
Yes, I need to check it out.
Yeah, you do. I love it.
All right, channel KRT. What's this button for? What's this button for? Ending this
Catton's
movie.
magic buttons. Catton's magic buttons. Something, something, something.
Oh god, we wiggled way too close to the sun, folks.
What's the matter, John Love? Blue meanies?
New and blue meanies have been sighted within the vicinity of this theatre. There's only one way to go out.
How's that?